Please lie on your back. And pay attention to how you sense yourself lying on the floor. And what does that mean? Well, it can mean many different things. But pay attention to different places that make contact with the floor. And for all of us, there's certain places that do make contact, and there are places that don't make contact with the floor. Everybody has contact of the pelvis with the floor. Sometimes it's a little bit more to one side or the other side. Sometimes it's more towards the tailbone or more towards the lower back. Everybody has some contact somewhere in the shoulder blades or in the ribs from behind. Everybody has some contact of the arms and the hands. And everybody has contact with the heels somewhere. And of course the back of the head makes contact. And then there's all those places that don't make contact with the floor. Most people behind the lower back, or in the lower back. Some people in between the shoulder blades, or the neck area, behind the knees. And then there's the area that sometimes changes the contact, the area where your ribs are, where you're breathing. Changes in the inhalation and the exhalation. And then there's the area of your spine. It comes out of your pelvis from below, travels up your spine in different curves. Notice what you sense of your spine, where it is. It defines your middle line. And then try to feel what it's like we have. Once you go to the right side of the spine and the left side of the spine, we have our right side and our left side that we're able to feel and sense. So how do you notice what it feels like on the right side? And what it feels like on the left side? Okay, and leave that go. We'll come back to the sensing of the right and the left side. And come and lie on your right side. Okay, come and lie on your right side. And if you can, please put your right arm forward. See if you can have your head so it's not supported by your arms. Bend your knees at about 90 degrees and really be on your side. See if you can really be on the side. That means bend your knees quite a bit forward at 90 degrees. You hear me well? Yes? Yeah? Is okay? So you bend it. Keep the knees together at about 90 degrees. And see that your pelvis and your shoulder are really in the same line. Okay? Yeah. Your right arm is straight forward. Have your right arm Put your right arm straight forward. Yes, straight in front of you. Yeah, that's good. Okay. And just for a moment, notice, and your left arm is just somewhere in front of you, bent. It's very calm. That's it. That's good. And notice that where your shoulder is. So you want it to be on the side. If it's really difficult for you with your head, some people, then I'll give you a pillow or something to get your head on. Yeah, Michael. Yeah, he needs something, I think. And notice where your shoulder is, and notice where your pelvis is. And slowly start to do a movement to move your shoulder upwards closer to your head and move your pelvis away from you and down. That means make your side longer. See if you can make your side longer. And then return. You don't have to make it shorter, just make it longer and return. Okay? And notice what you do to do that. Okay? And when you do it, you can pay attention to the pelvis, to the ribs. You can pay attention on the right side as well as the left side. So you move your shoulder upwards towards your head or your ear. At the same time, move your pelvis downwards and away. The whole side, the distance between your ribs and your pelvis gets longer. Move your pelvis away, sort of like lifting up your middle. So you don't have to move your elbow, just the shoulder and the pelvis away, so it just gets nice and long. That's good. Now stay on your side. Rest a moment like that. Okay. And now, slowly start to do a movement with your pelvis and your shoulder and your ribs on the left side. So you start to go a little bit backwards at the same time and roll your head. But you want to do it in such a way that the line of the shoulder and the pelvis stays the same. That means you don't start to take the shoulder before you take the pelvis. So they both go together. And it's a simple movement, but not so simple, because most will have a tendency to move the shoulder before the pelvis. You go backwards, take the shoulder backwards, take your pelvis backwards, not forwards, just backwards and return. So your face starts to turn towards the ceiling a bit, but go slowly. Leave your right arm on the floor in front of you. So you're on the side, on the side, on the side. You understand my English? Or yeah, it's okay. So on the side, okay, and then you start to. It's okay on the side. Go to the side, and slowly start to take your shoulder and your pelvis backwards, but that they stay at the same time. It's not to roll on the back. It's just the shoulder and the pelvis go backwards. Bend your knees a little bit more. Make it a little bit easier. Yeah. But do it in such a way that the idea is just to take the pelvis and the shoulder, that they really stay at the same line. Otherwise, what happens, you will start to twist. So go backwards with the pelvis and the shoulder. No, I'll show you. Okay, 1 second. Can I help you? Yeah. So you just go this way, but slowly. That's it. To make sure that they stay at the same. That's all. And you return. Okay? And you'll find that at a certain point, if you really want to continue moving so that the pelvis can go at the same line as the shoulder, you have to lift a little bit your left knee from your right. Okay? Roll your and return. And when you do this also, many of you, if you really pay attention, will also find that to do this, you need to use the movement that we did before of moving of moving the shoulder away from the pelvis. That means getting the side longer. So you don't want to twist, and you just go back, and you'll see that what happens is to continue, you have to get this side a little bit longer, and you return, okay? This is the pelvis. Yeah, if you don't know what the pelvis is. Deutsch? Becken, die Becken. Okay. Yes, die Becken. Okay. Let your head start to roll, but don't take the shoulder. See, many of you, what happens is it's very quickly, the shoulder goes before the pelvis, and then what we start to do is twist. And the head doesn't roll more. You want to just go very slowly and keep it so that it really stays in the same line. And that's the whole idea. It's really very simple. The simpler that you make it, the easier it will become. Okay? Try to feel that the shoulder and the pelvis stay in the same line. And you go backwards. And you'll find that to be able to really do this, you have to let the side get longer. Because if it doesn't get longer, what will happen is that the shoulder will start to move more, and then you'll start to twist. But go, continue. Yeah, move even till you feel that you have to get longer on the side. So it's sort of you shift your weight off of your shoulder, so your chest actually moves off of the right shoulder, and the weight comes off of your right shoulder, so that you lift the left knee, so that you can go farther and farther backwards. You can lift the left knee, yeah, that's it, and then you'll see that you get, that's right, and return. Next, see if you can lift your left knee. Lift it. Yeah, that's it, great. And then it becomes much easier. There you go. But without twisting, many of you start to twist. Try not to twist. Stay on your side the next time you return, and stay there. And now, take your right arm and put it a little bit more downwards in the direction of your right knee. Okay? You take your right arm, that's it, downwards in the direction of your right knee. Keep your knees bent so it's easier. That's it. There you go. It's okay. That's it. And slowly start to do the same exact movement. Same movement. Backwards with the shoulder, backwards with the pelvis. Lifting the left knee when you need to. Roll your head. Keep going so you can open the side. And when you feel that the weight starts to shift off of your side and that you need to open the left knee, try to push your right arm downwards towards the knee. See? And you'll find that this helps you shorten your side. So you'll find that the moment that you start to go with the weight off of your side, and if you start to push the right arm down, you end up helping the side get long, and let your knee lift. That's it, great. And the whole left side gets long, and the right side gets short. And it all happens without any twisting. And now leave this all go and just lie on your back, straighten out and rest. So let it go. Take your pillows away, lie on your back, and rest. Okay? And just pay attention now to your left side and to your right side. And observe if you sense a difference of what the left side feels like and what the right side feels like. Now, what does a difference could be? It could be that it's flatter, maybe the left side. It might feel wider or longer. Try and see if you can have your legs straight. Can you do the legs straight? Yeah. Who feels, just raise your hand so I know, who feels a difference now between the left and right side? That's great. That's 100% of the people in the room, 99% of the people in the room. And wonderful. Now some people sense the differences when they're lying, some sense them when they're standing. Okay? So, and see if you could describe to yourself in words. Sometimes it's not so easy to describe a sensation in words, but if you had to describe it, is it wider, is it longer, is it flatter, is it more present for you, is also a sensation. Okay. So some of you will feel it when you stand. So let's see what it is. Come, open your eyes, come and sit, come and stand up. Stand on the floor, not on your mat. And you'll see that for many of you, the type of sensation it is when you lie, so stand on the floor. You want a hard surface, stand on the floor, not on the mat. That's it. And just notice if you feel a difference when you're standing. Does one foot feel that it pushes in more? Maybe you feel tilted to one side. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Some people feel the difference more when they stand. Some people feel it more when they lie. Some people feel in both. Yeah? Who feels the difference still in standing in terms of the difference in the two sides? Great. Okay. It can be a light difference. It's not a major thing. Walk around and see what it feels like. Just take a little walk around the room, and then we'll do the other side. And see, some people when they walk, you feel maybe you press the floor more with one side, or something's different. Okay? Great. Okay, come back to your mat, lie down again. We'll do the other side. Okay. Too fast, the speaking, too slow, it's okay? Everybody understands? Sound is good? Good? Okay. Lie on your back. Once again, on the back for a moment. So, this was a test. I want to see what kind of a group I have, because if you can sense differences, then we can go on. See? And it's very interesting that in a very short period of time, to do a very simple movement like this, it's very simple, but it's actually very specific, because the idea to have it happen is that if you start to twist, you get a different sensation. The moment you get rid of the twisting and do it in this specific way, all of a sudden it allows a certain type of sensation to emerge, actually. And we'll see during the day that different lessons bring actually different sensations through the body. Okay? So, come onto your left side. Bend your knees at 90 degrees. Put your right arm in front of you. And yes, we'll give something, a big blanket or something. If it bothers you with your neck, we give you a pillow. Yes, it's not the problem. Would you like? I think you would like also. Okay. And slowly start to notice the distance between your shoulder and your pelvis on the right side, and make this distance larger. Make this distance larger. Okay? he wants more in the emos here. Yeah. And slowly you just make this difference larger, and you make the whole side longer. Okay? First, you just make it longer. And notice what you do to make it longer. You move the shoulder towards the head and move the pelvis towards the feet. Or do you lift the left side away from the floor? So make the whole side longer. See what it's like to take it. Yeah, that's it. Gently, slowly, and just come back. Come back. Come back. It's a rock. Leave that go, stay on your side. And now pay attention to the shoulder, pay attention to the pelvis, the back in. And slowly start to take the shoulder backwards, the pelvis backwards at the same time. Roll your head and look for a way to get the weight of your chest off of your left shoulder. That's another way to think about it. But don't twist. The main thing is, now to not twist, you have to really pay attention more to the pelvis. And you'll find that you go back only a certain amount that you can pull the pelvis and your hip joint, your Hüftgelenk backwards before you have to lift the knee away from the other knee so that it helps you go backwards. And let the side get longer. And notice what the feeling of moving your weight off of the shoulder is like. It's a very unique sensation and feeling and movement. And you can also notice when you do this, what's the feeling of your ribs that are on the floor when you roll over these ribs? Do they press hard? Is it soft? Is it easy? And come onto the side and rest a moment. And now take your left arm and put it more downwards towards your knee. That's it. The left arm. And slowly start to do the same exact movement. But this time, as you feel the weight moving off of the left shoulder, the weight of your chest, you have the possibility to push the left arm more downwards and slide the shoulder. So you push the shoulder actually, so you feel the hand sliding on the floor, the left arm down. So you have to roll your head and get the weight of your chest off of the left shoulder so that once you go down more, backwards, you roll the head, you let the side get long, so this helps, and then you can push this down. That's it, up and return. See? So the moment that you go backwards enough with your chest, the left shoulder becomes possibly free, and then you can slide it down. And what happens is, then the left side gets very short, and it helps the right side get long, but you want to make sure you don't twist. That's right. Now, if your knee, it's okay. If your knees are very far away, then it's hard to actually go backwards. And then if you'll see what that's like. That's it. And then, now then, once you're there, then look, then try to push this down a little bit. There. Oh, you see, slowly. That's it. Yeah, it's okay. That's it. And it's interesting that once you try to keep these elements in a certain way, your attention to what you're doing actually becomes greater. That means your abilities are not just go in any direction that just happens to come. And leave that all go and come lie on your back. And observe now, what do you feel on the right side? What do you feel on the left side? You feel flatter. Anybody else feel flatter? Hey, okay. So, but the main thing is, do you feel a difference? Do you notice something? Does it sense different to you? It's something that you can actually pay attention to and say, yeah, this is a little different. Maybe I'm not sure what, maybe I am sure what, but it's different. Yeah, and and roll your head a little bit right and left. And see what that's like. Stay in the middle and just observe for a moment if there's anything else that you may sense any differently. This very easy beginning lesson, which is really about rolling a little bit and not twisting. And stay in the middle. Notice your middle line, if that is a little clearer, where your ribs are. Open your eyes and come by way of one of your sides. Come and sit, come and stand. And stand on the floor. And just for yourself, for a moment, notice what it feels like to be upright. Some people, after doing this, all of a sudden feel taller and standing, or they feel their feet more flat on the floor, or more contact, or the front is more present, or the back, or they're not sure and they only felt it. And walk around and see what your walking is like, and see what that's like for you. You can walk slowly, you can walk normally, you can walk quickly. You don't have to walk any certain way to feel one way or the other. Okay? Okay, so that's the beginning. We'll take a short break. No, it's not a real long break because we have a lot to do today. 10 minutes, okay?